early evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of NPU Weekly, the weekly webcast show that brings you up to date on all the latest news in the world of North Park University athletics. I am your host, Kevin Shepke, and for this next brief, probably about 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes, we'll be bringing you up to date on all the latest news in the world of North Park athletics. And last time when we left you on December 16th, first of all, we hope that you had a very happy holiday season, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year as we now move into the 2015 portion of the 2014-15 school year and athletic season for the North Park Vikings. The only two teams that have been in action thus far since we last left you are both the North Park men's and women's basketball teams. Both teams have had kind of an up and down last couple of weeks. Both have been playing 4 games, with the men's basketball team having an even 2-2 record, while the women's team has gone 1-3 overall in their last 4 games. And North Park's men's basketball team has improved to 8-3 overall and 0-1 in the conference. And the women's basketball team is at 8-4 and 0-1 in the CCIW. Looking at the men's basketball team first, we have a slew of highlights to bring you in the next, as I said, the next 10, 15, 20 minutes of NPU Weekly. Looking at some of the highlights, the North Park men's basketball team, on December 17th, the Vikings unfortunately lost a 90-86 decision to the University of Chicago in an overtime decision at the Ratner Center. Then they later went on to defeat St. John's University by a 69-62 score on December 20th. After taking a time off for the holiday Christmas break, they came back to defeat St. Mary's University of Minnesota in their last non-conference game of the season on December 30th and defeated them, the Cardinals, by an 88-75 score. And then just this past weekend, the Vikings opened CCIW play and unfortunately lost a 77-67 decision to Millikan on January 3rd. Currently, sophomore guard Juwan Henry is leading the team with a 22.8 points per game average as well as 6.1 assists. And unfortunately, after the St. John's game on December 20th, the Vikings are now without freshman sensation Jordan Robinson, who's also named CCIW Player of the Week. So hopefully the Vikings can fill Jordan's void until he is able to come back and fill the role that he has been done so well so far this year for the Vikings. And as I said, we have a slew of highlights from the games that the Vikings have had since we last left you on December 16th. So let's go ahead and show those to you right now.
Encouraging team.
A steal forced by Juwan Henry. The Maroons really need to slow this down because they're working at a pace that North Park likes. It is now again a 2-point game with under 5 minutes left.
And
Maroons are able to break the full court press from North Park. Oh, and lots of contact there. Cobbs gets it through Howard.
And you know what, that
could be a mismatch. Henry steps back, gives it off to Pye. Pye steps into it and hits.
That friendly Ratner bounce.
Season, it always switches off. So, but then we'll have all the students do it, and they're doing a great job. Steal by TJ Cobbs, and gets the basket. Henry lobs it over, and then back to Henry, the runner. Robinson, yes.
You know what, though? Good job by Colin Barthel.
With 4 fouls.
I mean, North Park has to think about getting out of this game in overtime. They can't go to double. They don't have any fouls to spare. Right now, they're in the double bonus, so it might be worth being a little more aggressive and getting to the line.
Biko tries a 3 to start off.
Wow.
Cobbs, the drive by Cook, nice slip underneath to Maslakowski, but blocked from behind by TJ Cobbs. Vikings looking to run. Pull up is good by Colin Lake, and the Vikings have their first lead at 6-5. For the Vikings, one of them in overtime game on Wednesday. Turnaround by Jordan Robinson, rattles home, and the Vikings lead 10-7. Robinson knocks it down from the baseline. Jordan Robinson with 28 points now, and it's 62-59 North Park. Lake to Henry. Henry's pull-up, knocked it down.
Joined by head men's basketball coach Tom Slider. North Park coming off another solid victory, 69-62 over St. John's University. Great way to bounce back from the University of Chicago loss. You guys had 90-86 on Wednesday. Tom, talk about what the guys were able to do in this game to get this victory to bounce back from the Wednesday loss.
Well, first of all, Kevin, your definition of solid is different than mine, but we'll take the win. I'm happier than a pig in muck, all right?
Yeah.
And I'm not from the city, as you can tell. But, what our guys did today was they didn't play their A game, and they found a way to win. And I told them afterwards that that's what good teams do, is they learn how to win when they're not playing at their best. No discredit to St. John's. I lost sleep last night thinking about St. John's team. I saw them play in person yesterday at Elmhurst. We just really believed as a coaching staff they were a really quality team, and their record was not indicative at all of what type of program they are. I mean, they've just played a brutal schedule. So we were thrilled to have them here too. So, but give our guys credit. When St. John's made their run late in the game, our guys never relinquished the lead, and they found a way to make plays at the end.
Talk about what Jordan Robinson was able to do. 30 points out there tonight. Just really shot the ball well and was really playing defensively well all around. Just a great game for him. Talk about what he was able to do.
Well, what he's able to do is about anything he wanted when you look at the numbers. And, he's really playing at a high level confidence-wise. He's coming off a 26.9 rebound game at Chicago on Wednesday night. He's 30 and 9 today, shooting at a very high percentage. So, and the beauty of Jordan Robinson is he scores inside, outside, and is a mismatch nightmare. So, obviously, we're glad to have him in our uniform.
Mm-hmm. Talking about, too, what the guys were able to do, just looking at the rebounding, you guys were able to do for 40-36. Talking about what they were able to do getting to the boards tonight.
Well, it's more of the same, and I've talked to a few other people. It's kind of almost ridiculous that you have guys that are 5'10", rebounding as well as we're rebounding. Not to take away from our 6'4" big guys that are rebounding well. So we're such a small team, but we have big hearts and competitive desire, and that goes a long way and overcomes a lot of shortcomings, no pun intended. So, we've just proven for now a long period of time that we can be on the positive side of rebounding despite our lack of size.
Guys, now don't come back till December 30th. Talking about what this week you guys are going to do. Obviously, Christmas coming up. What's the game plan now going to be going into that?
Well, I think it's a well-deserved break for our guys. Our guys will go home for 8 days. They'll come back on the 28th of December, and then it's rev it back up and get ready for St. Mary's out of Minnesota coming to our place. And we still have 3 games in a row at home here as we start league play. So, it's probably go get some rest and relaxation from loving at home and home cooking and open presents, and come back and get ready to start the new year.
All right. Thanks so much, Tom. It's Kevin Chupke.
Go Vikings!
First minute, 4-0 in favor of the Cardinals. Garrett Gatz from the far corner for 3. Can't get it to fall. Weak side rebound by Hutchinson. Off the glass. Can't get it to fall. Gets his own rebound. In. Here in the first half, Juwan Henry. Pull up from the free throw line. Knocks it down. Ortiz drives. Throws it off of McDermott. Picked up by Lake. Lake in the open floor. Pulls up from the free throw line. Gets the friendly roll of the rim. And it's all tied up at 6. That is Hutchinson's first, team second foul. And Cobbs with the steal off the inbounds. Cobbs' layup is good, and we are tied. North Park leads 10-8. 23 points. Swingham from the baseline. Can't get it to fall. Rebounded by TJ Cobbs. Vikings looking to run. Juwan Henry, scoop shot, got it. Juwan Henry, skip past the Cobbs for 3. Can't get it to fall. Tipped in by Juwan Henry.
We're here with head men's basketball coach Tom Slider. Vikings coming off their first conference loss of the season. Their CCIW opener, 77-67 loss to Milliken. And Tom, what would you probably say? I know it's obviously a tough loss for you guys, but what would you say is one positive you guys could pull out of a game like this?
Well, it's over. The game is over.
Yeah.
And if you look at the stats, when you shoot 24 more shots than the opposing team, and turn them over 23 times, you should feel like you should win the game. But then the flip side of that is you look at that stat sheet and you give up 63% field goal percentage, you get out-rebounded by 13 or 14. Actually it's 12. You're probably not going to win the game. So we didn't do our part. It's discouraging. But in this league, you better get ready for the next one real quick. And we have another opportunity here at home. And we'll find out whether our guys are ready to bounce back on Monday.
Mm-hmm. What do you think is the biggest thing you guys got to work on now after a game like this?
Not giving up 63% from the field and getting out rebounded. I mean, the reason we've won games in the past is we've been on the plus side of rebounding, and we've held teams to 42.6% field goal percentage allowed. And we've now played 3 halves of basketball where we've given up plus 60% field goal percentage. So we've got to get back and remember what we do, what the recipe is for victory, and take care of that.
What were some things you told the guys after the game to kind of pick up their spirits a little bit?
Well, I don't know if their spirits were picked up, but I told them we gave up 63% field goal percentage and got out-rebounded. Now, the good news is there's nothing we can do about this one. That's over and done with. We got to look forward. So, really the mark of a good team is if you stop yourself, which is what we did. No disrespect to Milliken, but when you again get 24 more shots than the other team, you probably ought to win the game, and we didn't do that. So we got to get ready for Carthage on Monday.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much, Tom.
Go Vikings.
And they say, yep, just a lot of exciting Vikings action for the North Park men's basketball team, as they now will be returning to action this Wednesday night when they host Carthage College for their next CCIW contest, January 7th at 7 p.m. So we hope that you will join us on our NPU live channel as play-by-play announcer Greg Sager and color man Chris Dustisker will be bringing you all the live action that evening. Moving on to the women's basketball team, as I said at the top of the webcast, Vikings were 1-3 in their last 4 games since we last left you on the 16th, and they are at 8-4 overall and 0-1 in the conference. The one highlight that the Vikings did have in their last 4 games is they were able to defeat number 22 nationally ranked St. Mary's University of Minnesota on December 30th by a 64-62 score. Rachel Torres, sophomore, returning all CCIW third-team selection, scored 16 points for the Vikings in that game, and that was the biggest highlight for the Vikings thus far these last couple of weeks. They went down to Texas, San Antonio, Texas, before the holiday season, and played both Trinity College as well as Austin College down there. On December 19th, Vikings unfortunately lost a 59-54 decision to Trinity, Texas, and then later went on to lose to Austin, Texas by the identical score of 59-54 in overtime on December 21st. I mentioned the victory that the Vikings had on December 30th, a 64-62 victory over St. Mary's University. St. Mary's, as I said, was ranked nationally at number 22 coming into that game, as they had only had 1 loss. And then the Vikings had a doubleheader with the men's basketball team this past Saturday, and they ended up losing a close 69-66 decision to Milliken. Vikings did actually open the game with an 18-point lead, and were leading at halftime, but unfortunately, by name Alyssa Saklak for the Big Blue went on to score a game-high 27 points for Milliken, and the Big Blue came back to win that game 69-66. But like I said, we have a slew of highlights as well from the North Park women's basketball team, so let's go ahead and show you 2 of those right now.
High-low, Krukman to Roman. Roman off the glass and in. Sully Roman beats the double team. This is Torres. Picks up her dribble. Pass underneath the Rayberger off the glass and in. Liz Rayberger into the corner to Torres. Torres drives baseline, off the glass and in. 5 seconds left. Shebeswowski to Rayberger. Her three-pointer is good! Davis down low to Krukman, off the glass and in! Nicole Krukman with a nice ball fake there. Drives baseline, blocked by Amani Davis. Davis with great help defense. Davis to Shebeswowski. Shebeswowski into the corner to Shane for three. Can't get it to fall. Weak side rebound to Nicole Krukman. This is Rayberger off the glass and in. Davis to Shane for three. Knocked it down.
The Crockett Vikings unfortunately coming off a tough 69-66 loss to Milliken in their CCIW opener. Amanda, what were some of the things you told the girls after the game to kind of pick up their spirits after a tough loss like this?
Basically, it was one game, and we played a really nice first half, but just had some letdowns, and we didn't sustain the run that Milliken made in the second half. And now we need to get better, and when a team makes a run, to sustain that run and to push through, and we need to also learn how to compete.
What do you think the biggest struggle was? It looked like Milliken may have switched up their defenses a little bit. Do you think that might have had something to kind of tamper with you guys in your business?
No, they didn't switch their defense. They play man and they switch everything, and that's how they play. And they stepped it up. I think number 23, Alyssa Sackback, was our main problem. She took it to us and had a real nice game. We just couldn't stop her inside.
I know it's hard to pull a positive out of this, but what do you think was probably the biggest positive you can pull from a game like this?
I thought we did a great job taking care of the ball. We had 16 assists, 5 turnovers, so that was definitely positive for us.
As I said, yep, just a ton of exciting Vikings action going on right now. And currently, for North Park women's basketball, Liz Rayberger, sophomore guard, is leading the team with a 14.8 points per game average, and Nikki Pashevaslavsky has a 3.3 assists per game average. So North Park now travels to Carthage on Wednesday night, where they will be taking on the Lady Reds for a 7 p.m. game on January 7th. So we will be bringing you live stats for that game and possibly live videos. You just please stay tuned to our website. Hopefully we can bring you some live video and audio for that game. So we hope that you stay tuned to our website to check that out. So as I said, this has been another edition of NPU Weekly, as we are now into the winter season, as NPU Weekly will now become a bi-weekly show. So we will not be back again for another 2 weeks, but so every other week, I should say. And we'll hopefully be able to bring you some North Park track and field action in that next show that we'll be having in the next few weeks. So with head coach Jeff Massonet and his North Park Vikings, as they will be opening up the track and field season. So once again, thank you for watching this edition of NPU Weekly. We hope you enjoyed the webcast, and we hope that you will be following the Vikings as the season progresses for North Park men's and women's basketball. And in the meantime, go Vikings!